be honest, this should have been like a 25 point victory for the Oklahoma City Thunder. But somehow, some way, this team kept in the game. And I just, even now, as I'm processing what I watched last night, I don't know how they won.
Now, Rodney, it wouldn't be the Indiana Pacers if they didn't start game one of the NBA Finals with an epic comeback victory, taking down OKC 111-110, only leading in this game for 0.3 seconds after a big-time shot from, of course, the one and only Tyrese Haliburton. Rodney, what do you make of a win like this in this series? What does that mean for you?
I think it makes me have to walk back what I said yesterday. I said the Pacers were going to get swept. I thought they were going to get swept. I did. And to be honest, for most of this game, they was getting their ass bust. This should have been, for real, be honest, this should have been like a 25 point victory for the Oklahoma City Thunder. But somehow, some way, this team kept in the game. And I just, even now, as I'm processing what I watched last night, I don't know how they won. They had 26 turnovers last night. It seemed like Oklahoma City's defense was on 1,000 and felt like they had 10 people on the court out there defending. They were taking the ball basically anytime they wanted to. And I don't get it. I don't get how this Pacers team does this.
They're dangerous.
Yo, they are like a sleeping giant.
They never are fully out of a game. And OKC was not able to capitalize off Tyrese Haliburton having 12 points until he hit the game winner, right? Like, you look at the stat sheet here, SGA had 38 points. In all intents and purposes, they should have won that game.
He didn't play well, though. He had 38 points.
And he missed what could have been the winning shot. He missed that jumper.
But way before that, like throughout the game, SGA took a lot of shots. Actually, that's why they lost. Well, for two reasons. SGA, as the point guard, took way too many shots and turned into James Harden and Luka Doncic, right? Turned into one of those kind of players.
He took 30 shots.
30 shots to get 38 points is crazy. That is nasty work, all right? And most of those, what did he shoot? How many field goals did he make?
14.
I mean, that's actually not a bad percentage.
Yeah.
A lot of points from the free throw line. But that's too many shots as a point guard because you have the ball in your hands so much. You got to be able to facilitate other people having opportunities. If you're taking that many shots, that means people don't have the opportunity to catch a rhythm, which is what Tyrese Haliburton did so well yesterday. He did not play the best, but he was moving the rock.
They had 5 players in double figures yesterday.
In addition to that, I mean, which is great. In addition to that, the rebounding margin. The Pacers had 56 rebounds. The Thunder had 36. And it was because Dagnall, for whatever reason, decided to change his starting lineup, which was crazy. You've been smoking all playoffs long. Mm-hmm. He took out Hartenstein and replaced him with Kason Wallace. So now you've gone smaller. You've lost your primary rebounder, Chet. For as tall as he is, he's built like a toothpick.
Right. And
so
Wallace
the only guy
had all of 6 points, 2 rebounds.
From a defensive standpoint, Chet is flexible enough and versatile enough as a defender to guard a smaller player. I didn't like the strategy out the gate. If I'd have known that Dagnall was going to try something new, I wouldn't have made my prediction that I made yesterday. Please get back to what y'all do, Thunder.
Right. Because this is not a team that you can play with like that. And they just showed you in game 1. This has to be some sort of record that the Indiana Pacers are putting on right here. Because how many times have they had comeback victories like this down double digits? I mean, they literally were losing this entire game to 0.3 seconds.
Man, I got to shout out Rick Carlisle. Bro. And now you can see why he was fired from the Dallas Mavericks. Luka Doncic ain't going to play like this. Luka Doncic ain't going to play this hard. He not going to be this sharing of the basketball. So Rick Carlisle couldn't have been in Dallas coaching Luka because these two things just don't mix. It's oil and water. It just does not vibe.
I'm trying to think of what is the assistant coaches. Don't tell me her name. I'm about to look her up. I cannot think of
Oh, for the Pacers?
Yes.
Yo, I don't know her name.
Jenny Busick. I love the fact that she is so involved. Like, she's not just because I remember when I was covering the Grizzlies, they had a woman coach And she just sat in the back. She didn't do anything. She was just there for moral support. But no, Jenny was in that thing. Like the last seconds of the game, she was in there coaching those guys up. And I really loved that too.
Yeah, that's very notable. You can see it too during timeouts. Like she's vocal in timeouts. That's a really good call out. I really love her position within the Indiana Pacers. She's obviously a voice that they all respect, which I think is beautiful. Can we talk about Tyrese Haliburton for a second?
Yes.
If you had to put him in order somewhere in the bowels of the best, not just point guards at this point, but best players in the league, where are you putting Tyrese Haliburton?
Because this is what I was going to bring up to you. Is it so interesting that, like I mentioned, SGA had 38 points, right? But nobody's talking about that. We're talking about Tyrese Haliburton once again closing out a game, right? Like that's what we're talking about. Like, so does that make a superstar, or does carrying your team like SGA has been doing this season make you a superstar? I don't know.
So this is the conversation around what a superstar is. Is a superstar somebody who has a high level of performance on the court, or is he somebody that fans are emotionally invested in and will wear their jersey and make sure that they're in the building anytime that player is in the opposing team city? Is that because that's what a superstar has always been? Now, granted, even within the construct of that, there are different tiers of superstar, right? Jason Kidd was a superstar by all intents and purposes, but he was never LeBron James level of superstar. So he wasn't Kobe Bryant level of superstar. So there is a different stratosphere. Maybe that's a megastar. I don't think Tyrese Haliburton is a superstar. I think primarily because he's playing in Indiana. If he was in New York, he'd be in the running to be the face of the league, even with the game that ugly.
But what do you feel like? Do you feel like things are changing because we are witnessing one of the first small market NBA finals?
No, I
and
don't.
I think all eyes are on them, and it's people were talking about, they're not this. They felt like the viewership was going to be lower. Like, they're putting on a show. These two small market teams.
We have to see what the numbers do, right?
Okay.
I think because this game one was so well played, because it came down to a last second shot, I think that more people will be tuned in for the rest of the series.
Okay.
But you don't have a name that like a regular Joe Schmo, a commoner, as some people refer to them as, is going to go out of their way to watch in this series. So there's going to have to be a product that draws people in, very different than if you have LeBron James or Steph Curry playing in this game, playing in this series. Even a Jokic isn't that much of a draw. Even a Giannis Antetokounmpo wasn't that much of a draw. And those are two guys who have won MVPs who are also in small markets, but they're not names that people feel like they have to watch unless you really love the game of basketball. Actually, their games are kind of boring, if I can be completely honest. When you're watching Giannis, it's not the most entertaining thing to watch. Same for Jokic, unless you really understand the minutia of basketball and just appreciate their level of skill. The brand of basketball being played in this series is exciting. There's fast pace. Shout out to Andrew Nembhard as well, who with that very clutch three over Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They both match up in the offseason for the Canadian national team. Nembhard, this is good hoop, yo. This is athletes, 3-point shooting. We got a lot going on in this series. I know. I thought it was going to be a good series, but I thought OKC was just going to dominate. And now I don't know what the hell, Burton. I'm excited for this.
In the bed with my bonnet on, what's happening?
I know your hair looked a little extra silky and laid tonight. She must have had the good bonnet on. She had the good bonnet on.
Yeah, you all let us know down in the comments, what did you make of this epic comeback in game one? Do you feel like the Pacers have what it takes to win an NBA Finals? We want to hear from you down in the comments.